Hello and welcome to another animation competition. For those of you who don't know, which is probably everybody, we held a animation compilation competition thing on the Discord, and as such, not many people knew about it, so we only got 3 to 4 submissions depending on how you count it, because my co-host here is one of the submitters. This is Bean Dream and I here. We're gonna watch the submissions we got, and then afterwards we're gonna kind of talk about them and critique them and do that kind of stuff. For those who just want to see it, then you can watch them for the first part here and then just leave whenever you're bored.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so the first one we have here is by Snowy T. Webbs. And again, we're going to try to save our thoughts for after we watch all these. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Jake, 28. The next one we have is by Vikram exclusive. I was hoping there was more of that. It ended rather abruptly.
I was just getting started.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm kind of getting involved in this. It's a bit immersive. Last, and surely least, is
Hold up.
is Bean Dream. Just a little bit of disclosure. I was there when Bean was animating this, and I was actually offering input because this was just kind of a for fun thing to add to the compilation or competition.
It's a little biased.
Yeah, a little biased, but it was fun, and I think it's worth showing. So here we go. We're going to watch Bean Dreams.
Fire! Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Oh, no, not the beast!
So that was all the submissions that we got for this particular competition compilation. For anyone who's interested in submitting their own animations, you should join the Discord. There's a link in the description of pretty much all my videos, including this one that allows you to join the Discord. And we announce there what the theme is and how to submit and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to be in the next one, assuming there is a next one, then join up there. and keep your notifications within eyesight so that you can be alerted to when the next theme is announced and the deadline and the rules and all that good stuff. Without further ado, we're going to move into the review phase of this competition compilation thing. So I'm going to go back over to Snowy's submission.
And Allison, we destroy everyone's hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I actually thought a lot of these were surprisingly good, especially for the limited number of submissions we had. It seems that pretty much everyone who submitted is talented in one way or another. And,
except for me.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and replay Snowy's here and talk about it. So, one thing, like as far as critiques go, there doesn't really have to be logic. Obviously, if you watch the last one, Bede's animation, there's not a whole like, it has to be logical and stuff. The one thing that kind of stuck out to me, and it's just me being hypercritical, is like it's supposed to be like a FNAF character or something, like an animatronic.
I think so.
So like the idea of it being able to feel the bee or be scared of bees stinging it, kind of like it was something in the back of my mind.
I didn't think of that.
So yeah, it's, like again, that's really nitpicky, and I don't think it's anything to judge the animation on, but it was just one of those little like logical things that stuck out to me. But yeah, I think the animation he did, like it's obviously animatronic, so you're not looking for extremely organic stuff. But I think the animation itself was good. The real thing I would say, like the two knocks I would have for Snowy's is that it's kind of like overly simplistic to me. Like there's not a whole lot going on in the scene, which again, it's not a big deal if that's the theme he wanted to go with. But it's kind of a simplistic scene, and the lack of audio. There was no sound.
Yeah.
Some like bee buzzing and no sound effects. Even if you don't use music or whatever, just sound effects and things would have really enhanced this, I think, to kind of give more emotion to what you're seeing on screen.
Especially because it's a moody scene. There should be some ambience somewhere. When I first started playing, I thought I had my volume off or something. So I was expecting audio, and there wasn't.
Yeah. It's kind of understandable. Sometimes, people don't have time. Like, they're barely trying to make it in the animation phase to get it done in time or whatever. But, yeah, just adding those little details really helps. And this being kind of more of a competition now than just a compilation. Like, we're actually going to be judging these and critiquing them. And if you're in the Discord, obviously, then you're in submitting, then we give a special role to whoever wins the competition. So you'll have like your own thing, and it'll be at the top of the list of everyone who's online and everything. So not really a huge prize, but there's a little something at stake to do a good job. I think he did okay with the animation aspect. It's just, mainly the sound. I think that would have really enhanced it.
Sound would have made a big difference.
But either way, good job. And I like that. I thought since it was so simple looking, I thought it was just going to be the one bee from the beginning the whole time. So I like that he actually like crushed it, and then more angry bees came out.
Added a little twist.
I think everyone must think of angry bees whenever they think bees, because like everyone did something where there was like bees.
Angry. When are bees nice? Bees are never nice. Bees
are jerks.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to, unless you have any other thoughts on that one, we're going to move on to Jake 28. Let's go ahead and replay that one. So one thing I will definitely say about Jake's is it has like a little bit of story, a little bit of plot, kind of setups and payoffs,
Yeah.
Obviously, you did kind of a similar thing where it's like you're kind of creating a whole scene. We get introduced to the bee in the beginning, then we get introduced to Steve, and like the little like camera following the bee to introduce Steve was pretty awesome. Nice little, kind of movie technique there. Filmmaker mindset. Right there, like the lighting changed.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, a glitch or something happened there.
You just throw the bottle at the bee.
Yeah, like some of the logic here kind of confuses me a bit too. Obviously, I think it's meant to just be kind of random.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this is very in line with Jake. He seems to be a very destructive person from what I've witnessed on like our server and stuff. The little end bit there with the audio, have no idea what that is.
Yeah, but it adds a nice little touch to it.
Yeah, it gives a little flair to the end, I suppose, instead of just a black screen. But I want to see what this is here. He walks up to thing. And then boom, it's like the shadows are gone. The lighting changed or something. I don't know what he
It changed
did.
from like night to day or something. Oh, I know what happened. He said he made this over like a few different days or something, and a few different projects maybe.
Ah, he didn't have it all like lined up if that's the case.
I think something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so as far as like technical issues, that's really the most glaring one to me. Besides that, I think the animation was suitable for the style of movie that he's trying to make here, and the sound effects I think were pretty spot on. Everything kind of had a relevant sound to what was happening. Bonus points for adding the particles of the honey dripping out of the hive there.
He clearly put more effort into his than I did in mine. I will say though, in the beginning, well, not like in the first about 20 seconds, there were some harsh camera transitions that were.
Oh yeah, kind of like a ease in, ease out. It's kind of coming to a stop and then moving
And then when
again.
it switched to following the bee, that was a little harsh. And when it looks at Steve, it was a little harsh there too.
Yeah, some little glitches in the cinematography. You got to be kind of mindful of how your transitions are interacting with each other. And obviously, one of the big tricks of this, I did a tutorial on it before, and even like if you watch Bean's animation, I don't know if you can tell, but you use like folders to control the camera, and then you can overlap transitions so that they don't look as harsh and whatnot. So the lighting glitch, some cinematography glitches, but he definitely has some of those little details, like I said, the particles and the plot of whatever it is that's happening here is pretty unique and stands out. He definitely a little bit more effort than just, hey, I got to make a bee animation. He actually went a little bit further with it. So definitely have to give him kudos for going the extra mile with those details and stuff, and forgive some of the. I forgive the lighting issue. If he had to use multiple projects, it's understandable, but the I don't know what caused him to do it, but if you know you're going to have to do that, the best thing to do is like make your base scene and then duplicate the project, so that way at least everything is the same and you just repopulate the scene with whatever has changed.
Yeah, I'm not. That might not even be what it happened, but I just remember him saying something about that.
Yeah, it could be that, or he just decided to do something
Yeah.
random.
The rest
I
is
don't know.
random. Although I really like just how random and weird it is.
Yeah, but
And yet
that's
it
what.
still kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's like there seems to be a cohesive plot there, and it's obvious that he is, somewhat skilled at least at the animation aspect and stuff. So you feel like a lot of what's done is deliberate.
Yeah.
It's not just kind of haphazardly thrown together, and some things look good by chance or whatever. It seems like he knew what he was doing, and
That
besides
wouldn't
some
be
of those
mine.
glitches. So yeah, definitely a good job there to Jake. And now let's move on to Vikram. Play his.
I really love the music.
Yeah, the music choice here I think is really good. Cinematography actually isn't that bad either.
That bee flying like in circles with the camera following it.
Yeah.
At first I was like, okay, but it actually looks pretty good. Reminds me of something that like Disney or Pixar would do.
Yeah, he definitely went with I would say a more realistic approach to the animation aspect. Like the bees are zooming around and their movement looks relatively organic, especially for Minecraft.
Yeah, like I would totally want to watch like a movie like this. I mean, I know I. Anyway.
Yeah, I was pretty engaged, man. I was like, know that his is like the shortest one when we were setting this up, but I was like, when I was watching it, I completely forgot. I was just like waiting for this to continue on
Yeah,
for
I
like a
know.
minute.
I was like, oh, it stopped.
It's like, oh,
But
you ruined it.
all I
It
see
stopped.
in animation, like movies, are just like Forsaken, whatever that one is. The tree
Hmm.
is just fighting and stuff. But
Yeah,
this
everybody
one
wants to make
has a
action.
this has a different atmosphere. But I would, yeah, I would watch it.
Yeah, this definitely, I don't know if he's actively making animations. This could be like an intro to something he's working on, and maybe he'll continue it in a, separate video or something. But I would definitely be interested in him continuing this and see if he can come up with a plot to give this a bit more soul and see where it goes. It's obviously the shortest one, so it's a little bit less to critique, but due to the way he animated it, there's actually kind of a lot there to take in, the way everything's moving.
I love the little flip the baby bee does before it starts flying in circles.
Oh yeah, it does like a little twirl and then starts spinning around. Very good stuff, man. Good job to Vikram. The only issue, like the main thing that sticks out to me as far as like anything that you could consider a glaring issue, is that there's no fog in the scene or anything to hide the edge of the schematic.
And there is some depth of field.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Seems like there might be some like way out there. The quality is kind of bad for me right now, so it's hard to tell if it's just, quality issues or depth of field. As far as animation goes,
of the map,
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, animation is really good.
Yeah, so definitely good on the animation there. The lighting is kind of basic. It looks like it's just the sun or whatever. Doesn't seem like there's any color correction or anything like that to speak of. Maybe a little bit of tweak stuff, but yeah, some good like strong depth of field in some of the shots and some fog to hide the edge of the schematic. He did use a custom sky.
Oh. Yeah,
from the looks of it, those aren't Minecraft clouds. So that's a little detail there that I think also added to it due to like the way he animated it and having that a little bit of realism off in the background there. I think worked pretty well.
Honestly, I'd have to say that this is probably my favorite, even if it's so short.
I would agree with you there, but due to it being so short, I couldn't say necessarily that it's my favorite. Like if it had been longer and had a little bit more of like a plot happening or something, then definitely a contender for that. All right, let's move on to Bean Dreams.
So not much to say about this one. It pretty much explains itself.
Yeah, there's not much to critique here. Let me go ahead and replay it. Turn the volume down. The volume up. So, a few issues here. If I was gonna critique this one, like outright, like we did the others, you didn't turn up your render quality. So like you have the sunlight on very low and you can see the shadows are just like not happy about that.
Oh, I didn't even notice I did that.
Yeah, that's just obviously that's not really a fault per se. Obviously it does affect the end product, but due to the nature of the end product, I don't think it really matters. But it's just one of those things you want to be mindful of. Like it's, you have your work kind of messed up by something that is just like a little switch you can take in the program is not something you want to happen. But obviously, there's not a lot to critique here due to this being basically like a YouTube poop kind of video almost. So I was there when Bean was making it and offering suggestions and stuff. Hence the fart. That was all me, man.
You're
Look at that.
critiquing your own work.
Yeah.
So, all your fault.
Yeah, this is animated, edited, sound design, everything by being directed by AnxiousCynic.
Yep.
Which is why it's such an intelligent piece of work.
Oh, I should mention this was at like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, this was very late. I may have been drinking a little beer. But I really like it. Even afterwards, I've watched it like a few times since you put it up, and I laugh every time because it's just such a ridiculous animation.
I just noticed that I forgot to add depth of field.
Yeah, no depth of field.
That's something I
lighting settings low.
Add, but...
One thing I would say, I think, like this is just a note for me personally, you had the camera shake on for pretty much every shot, and like there's nothing wrong with that. It does give it some organic value, but since it's kind of like something you have to finagle with a bit to get, specific results, I don't know if I would use it for every single shot, or at least you would have to vary the settings between shots so it doesn't appear like just something.
Vary the settings a little bit somewhere.
Right.
But I don't remember where it was.
Yeah, it's due to the way the settings that you did have it on. I don't think it's distracting or anything. It's just one of those things I would note. Like if I was working on it, I would try to make sure that if there's gonna be camera shake in every scene, every shot, that it's tailored to what's happening in that shot, and try to Like, for instance, obviously this is something, again, made at 1 in the morning. It's just like a YouTube poop or whatever. But like when the bee comes out of the hive there and falls down, you could make like a really like raucous kind of shake of the
Oh, I
camera when
didn't
it
even
hits.
think of that. That's why it doesn't look impressive.
Yeah, when like it's so big it comes down, just slams it to the ground. You can have the camera shake violently for a second, things like
That
that.
would have looked way better. Well, I want to remake this.
Go back and re-edit it.
Wait, did I even add a sound effect?
No, it just hits like a sound effect, and camera shake would have really sold that.
I'm pretty sure I was going to do stuff there, and I forgot.
So that's it. That's all the submissions. And having watched them and now reviewed them all, let's go ahead and give our final tally as to who is going to be the winner of this animation competition,
Clearly me.
excluding Bean Dream. So to start off, I'm going to have to say the winner is going to come down between Vikram exclusive and Jake's animations. I did like Snowy's, but due to like the lack of
Sound was a big thing.
yeah, lack of sound, lack of depth to the scene, like there's not much happening other than this animatronic sitting there, and that's fine. You can have that, but like if you want to go the extra mile, you can kind of give some life to the scene, like dress the set a bit more, make it look like it's a store that's closed and he's there by himself or whatever. Just kind of add, it's not necessary. You're just trying to make an animation for a competition or whatever. I get it, but to just add that extra little punch, sound effects, make it look like the scene is actually kind of lived in to some extent, things like that would have really enhanced it.
Yeah, it's the little details that count.
Yeah. It's like those little things can take it and just push it over the edge. So my vote is going to go to Jake. And that's really because of everything I said in the critique section where, it's a minute of animation. He's kind of adding all these little details to it. There's kind of a story and a plot happening and all those things that come together. Like there's obviously some technical issues with some of the cinematography and the lighting glitch or whatever it is that happened there. But overall, I think what he presented seemed to be in line, with the theme and what we're looking for. Is like going the extra mile, making animation, kind of putting a little bit of story into it. He added all the sounds that you would want to, have in there and all that kind of stuff. So I think he checked all the boxes and accomplished the task. And Vikram, the reason I didn't choose that is just it is too short. Like
Yeah, it is.
that's not really meant to be a something that we judge him on. But compared to Jake's that has all these things going for it, like there wasn't enough time for this one to have that based on what was presented. So if this had been longer, had a little bit more of a plot and kind of did some more, I think this definitely would have had the potential to take the cake on this competition. But since it was so short, it was hard to compete with everything that Jake did, I'd say.
I was really inspired by Victims. Like, I want to make animations like that now. I mean, I'll procrastinate. But
Yeah.
I actually laughed at Jake, so...
Well, yeah, based on what we saw, I don't think you would want to laugh at Vikram's. I think his was meant to be a bit more whimsical. But yeah, Vikram definitely has some talent to show off, it seems.
So, obviously, in first place, it would be me.
Of course.
And then Jake. And then it would be Vikram in a close second, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was so good. And then Snowy Webs. And then I guess mine. Things mine cheated because you helped.
Yeah.
And I helped.
Yeah. If I hadn't had anything to do with what you made, I would say it would it definitely, like if you had kind of a gold, silver, and bronze, I would probably have put yours at bronze, and then Vikram at silver. Again, not due to quality or anything like that. It's just there wasn't enough to compare to other lengthier animations that had more going for them. And then Jake gets the gold. No offense to Snowy. Again, it's just a similar issue to Vikram's. Like there just wasn't enough to go on. It was a very simplistic scene. Nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to make, it's fine. It's just in a competition comparing these, it has to, that's just where it fits for me.
You gotta be brutal in a competition.
Yeah, gotta try to be fair. And if you disagree, I mean, no one's watching this at this point, but if you disagree, then let us know in the comments. But there it is. Once again, if someone made it this far, join the Discord if you're interested in competing
Do it.
in the competitions. If you don't know what Discord is, then I'm sure you know what Google is. And Discord, Google, something. So that's it. That's the end of this one. It's probably bloated and long, but maybe I can edit it down.
Hopefully. How long have you been recording, man?
Let
Oh,
me
it
see.
has been a while. Whoa.
30 minutes. Damn
Nice.
it.
Good luck editing that.
Eh.